The exam is right around the corner, and I'm sure you have already prepared hard and you're so confident, so energetic, so joshful that you're going to crack the exam. And ho bhi kyun na? Because you have been preparing with full energy, full josh, full enthusiasm so far, and you have been connected with Vedantu Olympiad School. I'm pretty sure you're going to do great in your NSEP exam. But the point is, year over year, when we talk to the students giving these exams and they come out of the examination hall, few of them are really frustrated. It's not because they did not know the concepts there. It's mostly because they know the concepts, they know the solution, and they made tiny little mistakes in there. And these mistakes really cost marks. And those marks may mean lost year. Because if with those mistakes you don't get into the cutoff range, then you have to wait till next year now. And if this is the last chance you have, then it's going to be a regret for life. And I'm not saying that failing in the exam is not okay. It's okay to fail in the exam. It is okay to get disqualified there. But you could have avoided. That is the whole frustration about. See, if I give an exam and I don't qualify, that's okay. I mean, I gave my best. Maybe I fell short on some concepts. It's okay. But if I don't qualify because of my silly mistakes, that's really regretful. And that's what we are going to talk about today, how to avoid those pitfalls in the NSEP exam. My name is Bhavdeep Setia, and I have been converting a lot of physics haters into physics lovers. And I always say, physics ko ratta maroge to physics bura maan jayegi. And you go out in the nature, explore nature, you are going to learn physics in a conceptual way. Now let's look at those five pitfalls. But before that, first things first, the exam is on 24th of November, Sunday, 8:30 a.m. And I'm sure you're all excited for that. So let's begin with our number one mistake that many students make, misreading the question. I'm just giving few examples here, but there are a lot many examples I have on my fingertips. So first of all, confusing angular velocity with linear velocity. Come on, you can look at the dimensions there, you can look at the units of measurements, you should know what they're talking about. And this is very common mistake I have seen in the exam. Again, things like mirror की जगह lens सोच लिया, lens की जगह mirror सोच लिया, converging की जगह diverging for converging. Those are the mistakes, and it might sound to you like इतना silly कैसे हो सकता हूँ मैं? But trust me, when you're sitting in the examination hall there and you're rushing against time and you have a lot of challenging questions in front of you, these are tiny little mistakes. You might be laughing at it right now. But these are the mistakes many students have made in the NSEP exam. They are able to solve high level questions. They are able to analyze combinations of mirrors and lenses, converging, diverging, water lens, glass lens combination. They can do all those questions. But while they're focusing on those high level concepts, in the rush of time, many students confuse converging for diverging, diverging or for converging, and for that matter, also lens with mirror, mirror with lens. And when they come out of the exam hall, they say, "Arey yaar, ye kya kar dala?" So do not make those kind of mistakes. And my advice is read the question carefully. There are certain keywords, like I already said, mirrors and lenses, but along with that, minimum, relative, equilibrium. These are the keywords. And if required, you scribble them on your rough area. It is allowed to scribble there. You are given the rough area. So make use of that. Make sure that you're not making this silliest mistake. I would say this is the silliest mistake you can ever make. Now, second thing is overcomplicating simple problems. Sometimes because there's a notion out there that NSEP exam तो बहुत है ना एक धांसू सा एग्जाम है. So what happens is when you come across a question, you think हाँ यार कोई major concept लगाना पड़ेगा, transformations of energies or maybe calculus लगाना पड़ेगा. नहीं यार, there are many times where the question is really easy, and we have done paper analysis earlier. The NSCP exam question paper is a mix of easy, medium, difficult questions. So there are easy questions out there that don't really need complicated analysis. You don't really have to go. So instead of using complex energy equations, maybe partial derivatives and differential equations, that can be solved via kinematics. Don't always have to use calculus. When there is a lot of symmetry in the situation, simple algebra will work. I mean, giving a simple example here, let me pull up a disk here. Let's say I mean, it might sound silly, but see, let's say if you have to find center of mass of this. Now, if you say, okay, I will find a ring here and with the thickness of dx and do all those complicated analysis, you can find center of mass of this using calculus. But symmetry है तो बीच में होगा ना यार. Now, this example I'm giving because I have seen many students when they start learning calculus, they think everything is calculus. एक स्क्वायर है उसका सेंटर ऑफ मास निकालूंगा कैलकुलस यूज करूंगा नहीं भाई you don't really have to go very heavy on those concepts. You don't have to really go. So many questions are very simple. Do not overcomplicate them. That is a very big mistake many students make in the exam. Always look for the simplest way to solve the problem. Avoid overthinking. If your intuition says it is easy, it is easy. So don't overly complicate. This is another mistake many students make. So when you make a, so let's say you come across a question and it's very simple. You say calculus use karunga. Two problems. Firstly, if you're using that, the chances are you might make some calculation mistake somewhere. Secondly, you're wasting your precious seconds. Every second is important in that exam. So you're wasting time as well. Now, the third thing on my list is obviously the time management, like I was saying. So many students, I'm not saying all the students, but students go to the exam hall, they come across the question and it's challenging. करके दिखाऊंगा एनएससीपी एग्जाम है ये क्वेश्चन तो मैं फोड़ दूंगा 15 मिनट लगा दिए उसमें so if you're spending 15 minutes on one question you have less time for other questions. Now the point is maybe you will be able to solve that difficult question in 15 minutes, but the problem now is the easy questions will get less time and in the rush of time एक तो ठीक कर दिया 5 गलत हो जाएंगे. It might happen because those easy questions are getting less amount of seconds now. So with less number of seconds on hand, you will make silly mistakes in the easy question. You made one question right, but then you attempted the rest 5 wrong. So what is the whole point there? So the best strategy is if you're finding a question difficult and if you think you're getting stuck up here, do not work on that. You're not going to be able to do all the questions anyways. Leave that question, move on, solve easy questions first. And once you're done with the one cycle of that, you return back, you revisit the questions, and then come back to the first question. If it was not attempted, completed earlier, then now try that first question. Do multiple iterations over there. Never say मैं sequential order में जाऊंगा, question difficult है करके दिखाऊंगा, challenge लेता हूं life में. It is good to take challenges. It is good to accept challenges. इन लाइफ यस यू शुड एक्सेप्ट चैलेंजेस बट यार एनएससीपी एग्जाम में थोड़ी इतना अपना वो दिखाना है जोश आपने यू इफ यू फाइंड द क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्ट मूव ऑन solve easy questions and then return back to this question later on. This is very common mistake, time management. And in order to improve this skill, I say do some mock papers before the exam. And again, I will talk about it. I'm going to give you a mock paper on 23rd of November. So stay tuned here. So if you solve the mock paper as if you're sitting in the real examination hall, you know how you have to manage your time between easy, medium, and difficult questions. The next one on my list is neglecting units and dimensional analysis. Now, this is one thing which is my favorite. When I'm solving any question, I'm not talking about NSEP exam. I'm just saying you solve any question, board paper, JEE, 9th ka question, 10th ka question. Whenever you solve a question, when you go at the final answer, you get the final answer, you should say, does it make sense? You question that answer. कि भाई is it matching the dimensions? अगर आपको speed पूछा है उसका dimensions force का आ रहा है, then that doesn't even make sense. I mean, as silly as this might sound, but that happens. Many students come up with an answer, they say, this is my answer, but you look at it, अभी speed पूछा था, ये तो newtons में आ गया. And just because the numerical value is matching, you can't be choosing that. That's not right. Again, conversions. They will give you a lengthy question where there are 10 pieces of data. सब कुछ ऐसा यूनिट में होगा एक लिटिल नंबर होगा जो सेंटीमीटर्स में होगा and just because you did not notice that centimeter the entire calculation goes wrong. Now what will happen with that is मैं फिर से बताता हूं क्या होगा कि एक क्वेश्चन है उसमें 10 नंबर्स दिए आपको सारे ऐसा यूनिट्स में है ना? You're looking at newtons, you're looking at kilograms, and everything is an SI unit. एक hidden number है जो सेंटीमीटर लिखा है. Maybe see, you're rushing against time. You have very limited time. So you're looking at all these numbers and units. Okay, सब कुछ चंगा है, but then there is one number that is in centimeters, and that is going to make your answer wrong. So make sure that these dimensional analysis units of measurements, they are taken care of. So always keep track of those. Practice checking for consistency, and make sure that you have those skills where you can look at the answer and see, does it even make sense. Now the final one on my list is ignoring the negative marking. टाइम थोड़ा सा बचा है, 10 क्वेश्चन बचे हैं, तुक्का मार देता हूं. तुक्का स्ट्रेटेजी वर्क्स. तुक्का strategy is awesome. It is a very scientific way. Tukka strategy has to be done in a scientific manner. ब्लाइंड तुक्का नहीं खेलना कि ए बी सी डी है, डाई रोल कर लेता हूं, टॉस कर लेता हूं, वो वाला तुक्का नहीं भाई. तुक्का हैज टू बी अ साइंटिफिक वे. Like let's say 4 options are there. You know these two do not make sense, and in upcoming video I'll talk about the elimination strategy also. If you're able to eliminate 2 out of 4, then your tukka or your guesswork is 50% chance out there. And even within those two, you might say, okay, there is a higher chance that this one is a better choice. In those cases, you do the guesswork. It's not like blindly 10 question cut. There is a negative marking. मे बी अगर आपने ये 10 गेस वर्क नहीं किया होता विद दोज नेगेटिव मार्किंग, नाउ यू आर गोइंग बिलो द कट ऑफ मार्क, और ये नहीं किया होता तो आप चले जाते उसमें यार. This is going to be very regretful kind of thing if you do guesswork without having any knowledge of any of those 4 options. No, that is going to be very regretting kind of situation, क्योंकि आप बाहर आओगे, आप देखोगे यार ये ठीक, and then the day of the result comes in, the cut off marks is X, and your X minus 5, let's say, and you say यार वो 10 क्वेश्चन गेस वर्क नहीं किया होता तो मैं X के ऊपर होता यार, then this is really not right. So do not ignore the fact that there is a negative marking. Many students fall into this trap. टाइम कम है, कर देता हूं यार सारे, क्या जाएगा, हो गया तो हो गया. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं करना. Now, I hope you have understood these 5 pitfalls, and you're not going to make these mistakes. Now, if you want extra help during this upcoming few weeks that you have, I'm launching Achievers Batch. Many students have been eagerly waiting for this, and there is a lot of enrollment that has already happened. Seats are very limited because I'm going to focus on each student in this. So, Achievers Batch seats are limited. So enroll for that using the link below. So the batch actually starts the very next week of Diwali. So 4th of November से start करेंगे every day Monday through Friday 6 से 7:30 p.m. So 3 weeks, 15 classes of 1.5 hour duration each. After each class, you're going to get a practice assignment, and then every week you're going to get Sunday का test. But क्योंकि 24th Sunday को तो final test है, so 23rd को you will get one full test, the mock paper, to practice. So it's only 2222, but if you apply this coupon code BS Pro 1, BS as in Bhavdeep Sethi, my name, and then Pro 1, you get for 1999. The link below has this coupon already embedded in that, so you can just click on that. Now maybe you are targeting next year ka NSEP as a final. This year you're just giving it, but next year is the final NSEP you want to give. So there's another batch which is long-term batch. It's full physics mastery 2025. This batch has 5 modules. Each module is 2500, so total of that. But you don't pay for all the modules, because some modules are already covered. You pay only for the ones that are going to be covered now. You get the recordings of the previous one. And in addition, you can apply the same coupon here. Secret hai, BS Pro 1 can be applied here as well. You get 10% discount here also. So these are the modules. I've spoken about those earlier also. Now, a lot of students have been getting medals with Vedantu Olympiad School, and you have been connected with Vedantu Olympiad School. आप तो कुछ कर दिखाओगे. So whether or not you're joining those batches, paid batches, stay tuned here, connected with the Vedantu Olympiad School. We are going to talk more about NSCP exam. I'm going to ensure that you crack that exam. So keep up the high Josh, students. Take care. Bye bye.